It's been a year since Total Drama 2024, and it's now Total Drama 2025. Chris decides to bring back about 12 characters that he thinks kind of got skipped over. He incorporates the Redonkulous race, and especially doesn't include A1 from that because he hates Dawn with a passion. So he only chose characters that qualified for 2 seasons or less. This includes Trent, Sierra, Blanley, which he was sad to say, Tyler, Katie, Eva, Alejandro, Cody, Beth, Ezekiel, newly reformed, Sadie, and Justin. All of them together were shoved into a little season and they now have to compete against each other for the $1 million. Alrighty, campers, today we're going to be competing for that amount of money that will make or break your life and mine. So, first episode, we have a simple race. Everybody races to the finish. Sierra decides to carry Blanley so that she can win, but she's also afraid of Cody getting eliminated. Cody tells her, "Please don't worry about me. In fact, please just don't talk to me this entire game." Sierra, however, knows that they are in a happy relationship due to tons of therapy. That's right, Cody and Sierra got therapy, especially Sierra. And now it's less of an obsession and more of an actual romantic interest, which Cody is happy to have reciprocated because women have not been simping over him lately, and he kind of needs the self-confidence boost. Oop. Allow me to fix myself real quick. Boop. And so, they are put on opposite teams. Alejandro talks to Trent, and Trent talks about how all of the problems that he's had have kind of come after him and Gwen's breakup, and he just doesn't know what to do. Alejandro says, if they end up on the same team, he'll tell him how to get with the girls. Which, Trent still has a good amount of girls that still like him, but he's in kind of a sad position right now. He's not doing too well mentally. Tyler and Lindsay are still together. Katie and Sadie are still best friends, even to this day. Justin's still doing his career modeling. Eva has gone through a lot of anger management treatment. Still has to listen to her music sometimes when she's at her worst, but she's doing better. Ezekiel has been cured due to a lot of new treatments and Chris getting sued a little bit by some of the fans who are Ezekiel stans. Beth is Bethin' around all Beth-like. I couldn't give a fuck. Blanley's still a news host, but did get taken off the air for quite a while after the whole Bridget stunt. Also, her attraction to the bear is going to be swept off the record. We're not going to talk about that. First episode is a little bit of a run to the finish line. Team to get there last loses. Alejandro ends up being the one to trip before finishing. And Tyler trips as well and goes over the finish line. Alejandro gawks as he realizes, I just lost. How? But now he has to turn on that charm. He gets Beth and Sadie to vote for Ezekiel. He convinces Cody to do so as well. What's Ezekiel going to say? Nothing, because he expects that Alejandro is going home. So he votes for Alejandro, and Justin votes for Alejandro. And the first person going home is Ezekiel. Ezekiel feels bad and goes into a fit of rage before calming himself down and walking to the dock of shame like a Chad. And the very next episode, is a food episode where they got to cook the most disgusting meal ever. The most disgusting meal. And they have to give it to the interns. In this one, Beth knows exactly what to do. And she does it. We're gonna leave it at that. And Team Flops ends up losing the challenge. Blanley complains about her team not being strong enough, and they all glare at her, knowing that she's kind of a bitch. So they eliminate her here. We moved on to episode 3. In episode 3, we have a paintball gun attack, which is going to be very difficult for all of them. And then this one, the team that's going to win, and now that we've gone through a couple boots, who do you guys think is going to win? Write down in the comments below. Go ahead, write down in the comments below, who do you think of the final two are going to be? You don't need to guess who wins, just the final two. Okay. And the team that loses the paintball gun challenge is going to be Team Flops. Katie and Sierra have been geeking out over stuff, but Eva doesn't really like that, and Trent also thinks this annoying. So they decide to vote for Sierra. Tyler just votes for Eva, and Katie votes for Trent, and Sierra votes for Tyler because he wasn't helpful in this challenge. However, it means Sierra is the one gone, which they also thought would be a good idea due to Sierra being very dangerous in the future. In this challenge, they have to eat the food that they originally did. Alejandro has a very bad stomach. And so does Justin and Sadie. Which means that Team Flops wins, and due to Beth winning the challenge for them originally, they send her home. And trust me, it's bad. In episode 5, they have a VR challenge where they have to build the best possible base that they can and then defend it from the others. It's kind of like paintball, but this time they're lasers. Justin and Sadie kind of act like idiots, which pisses Alejandro off. And his entire team, okay, why am I stuttering? His entire team gets team wiped, with not a single person on Team Flops getting eliminated. Though Tyler does get pretty close to it, and so does Eva. They decide to get rid of Justin because Alejandro thinks that he can manipulate Cody and Sadie better than Justin. Afraid of having a losing streak, Alejandro fears for a challenge where they have to spend the entire time in the woods and fend for themselves. However, Ezekiel returns and ends up helping Team Forgotten make it back. Alejandro is very gracious and decides that he's going to make Ezekiel an official member of Team Forgotten. Cody agrees, and so does Sadie. Ezekiel gets up and starts explaining to him exactly why he's been so weird around people. That he has a social ineptness, and he feels really bad about all the things that he said. He promises that he's very good at challenges, and that if he says something wrong, he really doesn't mean it. Cody takes that to heart, so does Sadie. Alejandro doesn't really care. He can manipulate Ezekiel later. Eva overhears that and starts to think to herself, maybe I was wrong about this guy. Right before they are sent to the elimination ceremony where Katie is eliminated. Katie didn't do so well in the woods, and consistently cried about it now that Sadie wasn't there to protect her. However, we made it to merge, which means that nothing really mattered with Alejandro making him an official member of the team. Oop, we switched up a little bit. You thought that was going to be an important plot point. Well, it kind of is, because Ezekiel starts making friends with Trent. Eva tries to reach out with him, and so does Tyler. Where Ezekiel talks about comic books, television, his past experiences, and his homeschooling. All the talking kind of annoys Alejandro, so he decides, I'm going to try to get Ezekiel eliminated in this challenge. In this one, people are hiding from Chef. And Alejandro purposely tries to sabotage as much people as possible, while also trying to convince them at the same time to eliminate Ezekiel. However, it doesn't really work, and the last person standing ends up being, surprisingly, Tyler, who's been pretty stealthy the entire time, which is completely unlike Tyler, but he's been training. Alejandro gets eliminated for all of his meddling in other people's affairs. The next episode is a non-elimination challenge. This one's a race, and Chris says whoever is last place is going to be auto-eliminated. However, he was lying. And in the next challenge, he says the same thing. How peculiar. This time, they know it's serious, though. The people getting to the finish line first are Eva, then Tyler. Ezekiel then makes it there next, completely out of breath. Then Trent makes it, and finally, when it looks like Sadie isn't going to make it, Cody trips at the last second and gets eliminated. In this one, we have each of them in super-powered bumper cars. That's right, super-powered bumper cars. And all of them go at it, trying to knock each other out of the ring. The first person knocked out is Eva, surprisingly. Then after that, the next person knocked out is going to be Trent. Then after that, we have Tyler. And then finally, Sadie is knocked out of the ring, making Ezekiel the winner here. The 5 of them, who are all pretty friendly at this point, say that they're going to go in without alliances and each vote for someone. And the person that they vote for is going to be completely random. Eva comes up to Trent to try to cheat on that, but Trent says, nah, we shouldn't do that. And Eva goes, you know what, you're right. It'd be unfair. I don't like unfair things. And so Sadie gets eliminated. Sorry, Sadie fans. We made it on to episode 11. In episode 11, you have to find eggs from mutated birds. Originally, Tyler gets beaten up pretty bad, but the person who's eliminated here is going to be Ezekiel. Let's face it, they liked him, but they didn't like him that much. Tyler's going to heal anyway, so, you know. Why waste the point? Plus, Ezekiel's been a bit of a threat lately. In the next one, they have to go get keys from dangerous animals, which you've definitely seen before in the show. A lot of these are based off of past challenges, and the person to win this challenge is going to be Tyler. And everybody votes, and the person who is eliminated is Trent. Trent makes it far, and he realizes he doesn't really need somebody else. He can be his own person and make his own friends. He doesn't need to get so hung up on the past with, like, Gwen and stuff like that. And his music doesn't always have to be sad music. He can just start doing what he wants to do. So he decides to become a country artist. Naturally, that doesn't work out very well for him. But he's happy. And then here is Eva and Tyler, with the canon winner being Eva. We got an athletic duo. Ignore that. That is your hint for a future video. Ooh. I'm not even sure which one that was, I'm gonna be real. Anyway, make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit better place.